Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the Operation Sindoor is an unwavering pledge for justice. The Prime Minister stresses zero tolerance against terrorism is the guarantee of a better world, adds terror and talks cannot coexist. The Prime Minister says any discussions with Pakistan will focus on terrorism and any negotiations with Pakistan will center around Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The second round of India and Pakistan DGMO level talks held, Indian Armed Forces top brass reveal how India crippled Pakistan defences in the aftermath of Operation Sindoor, hitting key air bases, radars and communications. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation on Monday, delivering his first speech since the launch of Operation Sindoor on the 7th of May, India's military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. In his address, the Prime Minister said Pakistan seeks survival. It must dismantle its terror infrastructure. There is no other path to peace.
पाकिस्तान को अगर बचना है तो उसे अपने टेरर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का सफाया करना ही होगा। इसके अलावा शांति का कोई रास्ता नहीं है। भारत का मत एकदम स्पष्ट है। टेरर और टॉक एक साथ नहीं हो सकते। टेरर और ट्रेड एक साथ नहीं चल सकते और पानी और खून भी एक साथ नहीं बह सकता। मैं आज विश्व समुदाय को भी कहूंगा, हमारी घोषित नीति रही है, अगर पाकिस्तान से बात होगी तो टेररिज्म पर ही होगी। अगर पाकिस्तान से बात होगी तो पाक ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर पीओके उस पर ही होगी।
The Prime Minister outlined three key pillars of India's security doctrine. First, the decisive retaliation when any terrorist attack on India will be met with a strong and resolute response. India will retaliate on its own terms, targeting terror hubs as their routes. The second is no tolerance for nuclear blackmail. India will not be intimidated by nuclear threats.
हर प्रकार के आतंकवाद के खिलाफ हम सभी का एकजुट रहना, हमारी एकता हमारी सबसे बड़ी शक्ति है। निश्चित तौर पर ये युग युद्ध का नहीं है, लेकिन ये युग आतंकवाद का भी नहीं है। टेररिज्म के खिलाफ जीरो टॉलरेंस, ये एक बेहतर दुनिया की गारंटी है। साथियों, पाकिस्तानी फौज, पाकिस्तान की सरकार जिस तरह आतंकवाद को खाद पानी दे रहे हैं, वो एक दिन पाकिस्तान को ही समाप्त कर देगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about Operation Sindoor, a precision strike conducted by the Indian Armed Forces on terror sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The strikes were carried out after the Pahalgam terror attack, which claimed 26 lives.
पाकिस्तान की तैयारी सीमा पर वार की थी, लेकिन भारत ने पाकिस्तान के सीने पर वार कर दिया। भारत के ड्रोन्स, भारत की मिसाइलों ने सटीकता के साथ हमला किया। पाकिस्तानी वायुसेना के उन एयरबेस को नुकसान पहुंचाया, जिस पर पाकिस्तान को बहुत घमंड था। भारत ने पहले 3 दिनों में ही पाकिस्तान को इतना तबाह कर दिया, जिसका उसे अंदाजा भी नहीं था। इसलिए भारत की आक्रामक कार्रवाई के बाद पाकिस्तान बचने के रास्ते खोजने लगा। पाकिस्तान दुनिया भर में तनाव कम करने के लिए गुहार लगा रहा था।
The Prime Minister said that Operation Sindoor has proved the efficiency of made-in-India defense equipment and also India as a self-sufficient military power. He said that the country has proved its dominance in modern warfare and must now lead in defense innovation through homegrown technology.
हम भारत और अपने नागरिकों को किसी भी खतरे से बचाने के लिए लगातार निर्णायक कदम उठाते रहेंगे। साथियों, युद्ध के मैदान पर हमने हर बार पाकिस्तान को धूल चटाई है और इस बार ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने नया आयाम जोड़ा है। हमने रेगिस्तानों और पहाड़ों में अपनी क्षमता का शानदार प्रदर्शन किया और साथ ही न्यू एज वॉरफेयर में भी अपनी श्रेष्ठता सिद्ध की। इस ऑपरेशन के दौरान हमारे मेड इन इंडिया हथियारों की प्रामाणिकता सिद्ध हुई। आज दुनिया देख रही है 21वीं सदी के वॉरफेयर में मेड इन इंडिया डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट्स, इसका समय आ चुका है।
In his address, PM Modi said many terrorist leaders were roaming freely in Pakistan for the last 2.5 to 3 decades who used to conspire against India.
आतंक के बहुत सारे आका बीते 2.5-3 दशकों से खुलेआम पाकिस्तान में घूम रहे थे, जो भारत के खिलाफ साजिशें करते थे। उन्हें भारत ने एक झटके में खत्म कर दिया। साथियों, भारत की इस कार्रवाई से पाकिस्तान घोर निराशा में गिर गया था, हताशा में गिर गया था, बौखला गया था और इसी बौखलाहट में उसने एक और दुस्साहस किया। आतंक पर भारत की कार्रवाई का साथ देने के बजाय पाकिस्तान ने भारत पर ही हमला करना शुरू कर दिया।
PM Modi, in his address, also saluted the valor of the Indian Armed Forces, intelligence agencies and scientists involved in Operation Sindoor.
हम सभी ने बीते दिनों में देश का सामर्थ्य और उसका संयम दोनों देखा है। मैं सबसे पहले भारत की पराक्रमी सेनाओं को, सशस्त्र बलों को, हमारी खुफिया एजेंसियों को, हमारे वैज्ञानिकों को, हर भारतवासी की तरफ से सैल्यूट करता हूं। हमारे वीर सैनिकों ने ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के लक्ष्यों की प्राप्ति के लिए असीम शौर्य का प्रदर्शन किया।
Let's have a look at some of the key highlights of the Prime Minister's address to the nation. He dedicates the success of Operation Sindoor to India's Nari Shakti. This is noteworthy because several women and children saw family members being butchered in the most cold-blooded manner by terrorists. The Prime Minister publicly calls out the entire terror apparatus of Pakistan, calls Bahawalpur and Muridke universities of terror. The Prime Minister says Pakistan tried to remove the sindoor of our women. We uprooted their universities of terror itself. The Prime Minister confirmed that the operation resulted in the elimination of more than 100 dangerous terrorists, including key figures who had openly plotted against India for decades. Clearly, Pakistan has been repaid in a language that they understand. He exposes the hollowness of the Pakistani army, which is nothing compared to the Indian armed forces. The Prime Minister does not rule out further action on Pakistani-sponsored terror. He makes it clear that even now, every inch of land in which terror is encouraged by Pakistan is within the reach of the Indian armed forces. He makes it clear that it was Pakistan that came begging for peace. It was Pakistan which was bearing the brunt of the Indian onslaught, forcing their DGMO to reach out to their counterpart in India. The Prime Minister clearly says Operation Sindoor is not over. India will give back to terror and their backers in a language they understand. He clearly states the new normal now. India will answer back. Nuclear blackmail won't work. No difference between terrorists and those who patronize them, whoever they might be and wherever they might be. While speaking about Operation Sindoor, the Prime Minister said that the operation has set a new benchmark in India's fight against terrorism, establishing a new standard and redefining the norm. He categorically said the actions India would take if it were to be struck by terrorism again.
भारत की तीनों सेनाएं, हमारी एयरफोर्स, हमारी आर्मी और हमारी नेवी, हमारी बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स बीएसएफ, भारत के अर्धसैनिक बल लगातार अलर्ट पर है। सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक और एयर स्ट्राइक के बाद अब ऑपरेशन सिंदूर आतंक के खिलाफ भारत की नीति है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर ने आतंक के खिलाफ लड़ाई में एक नई लकीर खींच दी है, एक नया पैमाना, न्यू नॉर्मल तय कर दिया है। पहला, भारत पर आतंकी हमला हुआ तो मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया जाएगा। हम अपने तरीके से, अपनी शर्तों पर जवाब देकर रहेंगे। हर उस जगह जाकर कठोर कार्रवाई करेंगे जहां से आतंक की जड़ें निकलती हैं। दूसरा, कोई भी न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल भारत नहीं सहेगा। न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल की आड़ में पनप रहे आतंकी ठिकानों पर भारत सटीक और निर्णायक प्रहार करेगा। तीसरा, हम आतंक की सरपरस्त सरकार और आतंक के आकाओं को अलग अलग नहीं देखेंगे। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान दुनिया ने पाकिस्तान का वो घिनौना सच फिर देखा है, जब मारे गए आतंकियों को विदाई देने पाकिस्तानी सेना के बड़े बड़े अफसर उमड़ पड़े। स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म का ये बहुत बड़ा सबूत है।
The second round of talks between Directors General of Military Operations of India and Pakistan was held on Monday evening local time. Issues related to continuing the commitment that both sides must not fire a single shot or initiate any aggressive and inimical action against each other were discussed. It was also agreed that both sides consider immediate measures to ensure troop reduction from the borders and forward areas. The top brass of the Indian Armed Forces on Monday gave a detailed briefing on how India crippled Pakistan's defences by taking out its key air bases, radars and communications with visual evidence to boot. Here's a report on the briefing on Operation Sindoor by the Directors General of Army, Navy and Air Force Operations.
The Director General of Air Operations, Air Marshal A.K. Bharti, said that Operation Sindoor targeted terror infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. But the Pakistani military, in its wisdom, chose to come to aid of terrorists and personalize the conflict.
We also iterated that our fight was with terrorists and their support infrastructure and not with Pakistan military. However, it is a pity that the Pakistan military chose to intervene and bat for the terrorists, which compelled us to respond in kind.
India's robust air defense system thwarted all Pakistani attempts to target Indian installations.
This robust AD system comprises of a large variety of multi-layered AD sensors and weapon systems, from point defense weapons like the low-level air defense guns, shoulder-fired manpads, and short-range surface-to-air missiles or SAMs, to area defense weapons like the air defense fighters and longer-range surface-to-air missiles within our inventory. Additionally, the numerous waves of drones and unmanned combat aerial vehicles employed by Pakistan were also thwarted by the indigenously developed soft and hard kill counter-US systems and the well-trained Indian air defense personnel. All this was brought together as an efficient and effective AD environment by the Integrated Air Command and Control System or the ISCCS of the Indian Air Force.
Another highlight of India's military response was the stellar performance of indigenous air defense systems such as Akash.
Another highlight has been the stellar performance of the indigenous air defense weapon system like the Akash system. I would like to mention that putting together and operationalization of this potent AD environment has been possible over the last decade due to unwavering budgetary and policy support provided by the Government of India.
Air Marshal Bharti said that all Indian military installations remain operational and ready to undertake any mission if the need arises, completely discrediting Pakistan's claims of having struck Indian facilities.
All our military bases, all our systems continue to remain fully operational and ready to undertake any future missions should the need so arise.
Director General of Military Operations, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai, said that seamless coordination was the hallmark of Operation Sindoor.
In every single domain that Operation Sindoor has been prosecuted, there has been absolute synergy between the three services. Not only have we, in this endeavor, been fully supported by our government, departments and agencies, I cannot here not mention our 140 crore countrymen that have stood behind us with their prayers and goodwill, urging and inspiring us to achieve our mission and objectives.
Vice Admiral A.N. Pramod spoke about Indian Navy's dominance in the maritime domain.
The Indian Navy maintains a credible capability to detect, identify and neutralize any aerial platforms that threaten our units at sea. To sum up, the Indian Navy's dominance thus ensured that, should we choose to, we can strike at will.
Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a high-level meeting at his residence in New Delhi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan and all three chiefs were present among others. Bureau Report, DD India.
The United States and China said on Monday that they have agreed a deal to slash reciprocal tariffs. Speaking after talks with Chinese officials in Geneva, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the two sides had reached a deal for a 90-day pause on measures. He added that reciprocal tariffs would come down by 115%. The combined 145% U.S. levies on most Chinese imports will be reduced to 30%, including the rate tied to fentanyl by 14th of May. Meanwhile, the 125% Chinese duties on U.S. goods will drop to 10%. The Geneva meetings were the first face-to-face interactions between the senior U.S. and Chinese economic officials since U.S. President Donald Trump returned to power and launched the global tariff blitz on China.
We have reached an agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially moves down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%. We had very robust discussions. Both sides showed great respect.
The Red Cross said on Monday it had successfully facilitated the release and transfer of a hostage who had been held in Gaza by Palestinian militant group Hamas to Israeli authorities. A convoy transporting freed U.S.-Israeli soldier Eden Alexander arrived at a military base in southern Israel. Alexander's release comes on the eve of a regional visit by U.S. President Donald Trump, and as Hamas revealed, it was engaged in direct talks with Washington, D.C. towards a ceasefire. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Monday promised net migration would fall significantly by 2029 as he announced policies to boost skills and training. Starmer added that many immigrants would have to wait longer before getting the status they need to claim welfare. The new rules said automatic settlement and citizenship for people who move to Britain will apply after 10 years, up from 5 years now, although highly skilled workers would be fast-tracked.
Well, I'm promising it will fall significantly, and I do want to get it down by the end of this Parliament significantly. That is what this plan is intended to achieve, the complete opposite of what you saw in the last 4 years. It is frankly incredible that net migration quadrupled in 4 short years to nearly 1 million. This white paper, these plans bring it back into control.
The 18th season of the Indian Premier League to restart from May 17 after a week-long suspension because of the escalating conflict between India and Pakistan. The BCCI has announced the revised schedule. The league will restart on 17th May with Kolkata Knight Riders locking horns with Royal Challengers Bangalore. The remaining league matches will be played in 6 venues. The Qualifier 1 and Qualifier 2 will be held on 29th May and June 1. The final will take place on the 3rd of June. Iconic Indian cricketer Virat Kohli has officially announced his retirement from Test cricket at the age of 36, concluding a remarkable 14-year career in the longest format of the game. He made the announcement via a heartfelt Instagram post expressing gratitude for the journey and the personal growth he experienced through Test cricket.
India's iconic cricketer Virat Kohli has called time on his illustrious Test career, bringing an end to a 14-year-old career that started in 2011. Kohli announced his decision to step away from red ball cricket on social media platform. He wrote, and I quote, "It's been 14 years since I first wore the baggy blue in Test cricket. Honestly, I never imagined the journey this format would take me on. It's tested me, shaped me, and taught me lessons I'll carry for life. I'm walking away with a heart full of gratitude for the game, for the people I shared the field with, and for every single person who made me feel seen along the way. I'll always look back at my Test career with a smile." The retirement marked the end of an illustrious Test career of 14 years, during which he made 9,230 runs in 123 tests with 30 centuries. The Delhi batter made his Test debut against the West Indies on June 20, 2011 in Kingston. Since then, Kohli went on to dominate the format, becoming India's most successful batter between the period of 2010 and 2019. He became the third highest Test run getter in the period, piling on 7,202 runs at 54.97 average and 27 centuries, the most by any batter in the time. However, his form dipped following COVID period in 2020. He only managed to put 2,028 runs in 68 innings with 3 centuries. Incidentally, Kohli's 30.72 average is the lowest among all 24 Test batters who have aggregated at least 2,000 runs since 2020. Despite his abrupt decision to call time on his red ball career, Kohli will arguably go down as one of India's finest batters in the format. The former Indian captain stands fourth on the all-time charts among Indian batters, only behind the legendary trio of Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid and Sunil Gavaskar with 9,230 runs at a 46.85 average. Kohli took over the Test captaincy reins following MS Dhoni's Test retirement in 2014 and led India over a successful 8-year tenure. In 68 outings as skipper, Kohli marshalled India to 40 Test wins, making him the most successful Indian Test captain ever. Only Graeme Smith, Ricky Ponting and Steve Waugh have registered more Test wins among international captains. Despite starting the 2024 Border Gavaskar Trophy with a century against Australia in Perth, Kohli ended the tour on a horror note with a repeated pattern of caught behind dismissals hampering his game, amassing only 193 runs. Reactions poured in from across the cricket fraternity to wish the modern-day legend. From AB de Villiers to Gautam Gambhir, everyone hailed the legacy of Kohli. Kohli's retirement from the longest format of the game adds to the exodus of Indian veterans. Ravichandran Ashwin and Rohit Sharma have already called it quits, and now Virat Kohli has become the third one to follow suit. Sports Desk, DD India.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.